Hiya. Today we're gonna be taking a look at Junkrat and my shitty Australian accent. Junkrat is Overwatch's hero from the Australia, that place where toilet water swirls in the opposite direction. This happens because of something called the Coriolis effect, which is basically an effect caused by the Earth's rotation. Wind, water, vapor tend to rotate to the counterclockwise direction in the northern hemisphere and the clockwise direction in the southern hemisphere. Anyways, Junkrat's left click is his grenade ball move. He just shoots a ball with a kitchen timer strapped to it, and when the timer dings, the ball gets really angry because that noise is really annoying, so it explodes. Also, don't worry too much about aiming with this move because chances are if you shoot in a random direction, you're likely going to hit something anyways. Junkrat's shift is his totally illegal car bomb move. He throws a remote-controlled explosive on the floor, and then he can detonate it by pressing the right-click button on your mouse whenever he wants. If Junkrat is beside his car bomb, he'll fly into the air, but if an enemy is by the bomb, the same thing will happen, except they'll also take damage. It's a pretty good idea to use this move to create distance between you and your enemy, all while shooting them in the face with your cooking timer balls. Wait. I'm sorry, can we just go back to that Coriolis thing for a moment? Do you think that the fluids in your cochlear gland flow in the opposite direction in Australia? Junkrat's E is his trap card move. As a side note, I like to yell, "Ha, you've fallen for my trap card Yugi," when someone steps on it because it boosts my ego. When your enemy steps on it, they're trapped in place for around 2 seconds, give or take another 2 seconds, so it gives you enough time to shoot them in the face with your bombs. Just put this trap around tight edges and corners because sometimes it's actually really hard to see, so... No, wait, hold on. Speaking of cochlear glands, how do Junkrats even work? You know, the average explosion from a grenade at the epicenter has a decibel rating of around 191, and the pain threshold for humans is around 120 to 130. So I'd honestly be surprised if Junkrat's cochlear glands were even working. Seriously, I don't think Junkrat's passive causes him to drop a lot of grenades when he dies. Junkrat's ultimate is his tire move. Ideally, he'd be a good Samaritan and use it to replace a faulty tire on someone's car, but I guess since he wants to be a douche about it, he rigs it with explosives and uses it to blow people up. This is one of my favorite ults in the game, not only because I've always wondered what it would be like to drive a tire, but also because it proves that Junkrat isn't even human. I mean, seriously, how does he carry that thing on his back all the time? Especially because he has a wooden peg leg. I mean, Jesus, no wonder his posture is so bad. How much does that thing weigh? Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked again. Anyways, if you want to play a mean Junkrat, you're going to have to embrace the chaotic nature of the character. And what better way to do that than to get an understanding of the state of his ears, am I right? Okay, let's break it down. So Junkrat is constantly in close proximity to explosives, and explosives of course make very loud noises. The safe zone for noises before getting some kind of damage to your hearing is around 85 decibels, which is around the noise level of city traffic when you're inside a car. At this point, hearing damage is minor and can only happen after 8 hours or so of uninterrupted exposure. So you're totally fine. And it happens to all of us, so don't freak the junk out. But when we go up is when we start getting problems. Here's a handy chart I found detailing the times you can withstand certain decibel ratings before damage, pain, and even death in some cases. Did you know that the decibel scale is logarithmic? That means each 10 points of the scale is actually equivalent to an order of 10 times that. So, for example, 90 decibels will be 1,000 times stronger than 60 decibels. Make sense? Cool. That being said, the loudest recommended sound to listen to with hearing protection is 140 decibels. Here we have Junkrat with no hearing protection, listening to levels of up to 191 decibels right below him in the case of his bomb jump. Let's take a look at what would happen to his ears. At around 180 decibels, we would experience the death of all his hearing tissue. This means Junkrat is 100% without a doubt blind. I mean deaf. At 191 decibels, a mere 4 more decibels would cause his eardrums to rupture. And at 202 decibels, Junkrat would straight up die from the impact of the shockwave generated by the sound. Considering the fact that Junkrat uses up to hundreds of explosives at close proximity at any point in the match, we can safely assume that Junkrat's auditory canal is in a constant state of bleeding, his tympanic membrane has been completely destroyed, his malleus, incus, and stapes are most likely in a state of bone dust, his tympanic cavity is probably also bleeding, his round window would have bursted open, all the nerves connecting to his brain are definitely dead, and his cochlea is most likely ruptured, causing fluid to leak out of his ear and also into his brain cavity. And at this point, Junkrat has no doubt experienced some form of serious brain damage, as well as psychological angst from being completely deaf, which probably explains why he's so twitchy all the time, and why he has trouble speaking without some weird accent. Great, so now that we can understand the root of Junkrat's deafness, we can play around it. Basically, just stay high up above everyone else, spread out your grenades if you're not sure who to focus, and just always make sure you have a trap out. Have fun. Before I go, I just quickly wanted to say thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. Honestly, I didn't think I would even get to this milestone, or even as quickly as I did, so to say I'm surprised would definitely be an understatement. I know my voice doesn't really carry the thankfulness I'm feeling right now, but you're just gonna have to trust that it's there. I'm in the process of making a dedicated 10K video, but it might be out a little late. No, it's definitely gonna be late. Once again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, bye.